Hi, I'm Paddycake, and this is my best friend, Brent. We've been besties for a while now, and one of the things we bonded over was our shared love of Madlibs. On Christmas a few years ago, Brent pitched the idea to me to create a show where we use AI art to accentuate the humor of Madlibs. 3 weeks later, we started filming, and we haven't stopped since. Through this project, we hope to share our weird humor and to highlight both the unexpected beauty and complete absurdity of AI-generated art. Welcome to MidJourney Madlibs. Hello, my darlings, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new, please come in, make yourself at home. My name is Paddycake, and welcome to Paddycake Games and the Season 4 mid-season premiere of MidJourney Madlibs. With me, as always, is my best friend and my co-host, Brent. How are you doing tonight?
Surprisingly well, considering I've been in traction. No, I've been going to the chiropractor.
Traction, chiropractor, they're pretty similar. Anyway, we're not going to waste any time. You guys know how this works. We send each other Madlibs. We send each other the answers to go into those Madlibs. We then take those sentences. We run them through MidJourney. We create a series of art. We get together. We show it to each other. And we laugh. And that's the show. And we hope you like it. And if you do like it, look down below the video. There's a button just for you. It's a thumbs up button. It just means you like the video. And if you're doing that, you might as well go right next to it and click the subscribe button. And if you're doing that, you might as well click the notification bell, and that'll let you know when new videos get posted to the channel. You can also look in the description of the video, and there is a link to a Discord. You can come and join the Discord, where there's a cool, small, but growing community of really nice people that like the channel. Come and hang out with us. We'd love to meet you. Brent.
Yeah, I finally found them at the end of last season.
Yeah, he's finally there now, so you can talk to Brent too. But Brent, you're up. And as usual, I know what your first Madlib is going to be based on. And looking at this picture, I can tell you that is absolutely our table.
I mean, a few variations, but definitely. So I kept getting cats even when I wasn't asking for cats. So I just started asking for cats on some of them. When you first start playing Z and D, you'll need these simple things to help you hit the beehive running. You should definitely run if you hit a beehive.
Absolutely. Oh, those are cool dice, though.
Yeah. I actually dug how that turned out. And it looks like it's made out of amber or honey.
Or honey, yeah. It's like honeycomb. That's really cute.
So
I like that.
I really dig it.
But before we go on, before we move on, what does Z and D stand for? What do you think?
Well, you would think it might be a room, since it's
dungeons, right?
So it gets zoos and dragons,
Zambonis and dragons,
zephyrs and dragons,
zebras and dragons.
The player's elbow book, the public toilet master's guide, the monkey manual. Let's do that real fast, just so we can get it into the picture. The player's elbow book, the public toilet master's guide, and the monkey manual.
Okay. Player's elbow book, public toilet master's gonky monly manual.
Almost there. I was hoping
there.
it would give me a series of books rather than the little weird thing that's on the wall behind the toilet in some bathrooms. And that is a very, very interesting toilet, to say the least. And he needs to use it.
Yeah.
And not the floor.
He's facing the well. He's a monkey. He doesn't know any better. At least he brought reading material.
Yes. Oh, well, that is cool. Maybe that's the monkey manual.
Yeah. Well, no, it's the gonky monly manual.
Dice. You'll need more dice than you can hang a stick at, but especially D20s.
Okay. So, we do this at our table all the time. We stack our dice on top of each other, but not quite in that impossible of configuration.
Yeah, there's got to be some glue involved here. And some of these numbers are rather confusing.
Yeah, that one die has 2 8s on it.
It's a lucky one. A Z.
And it's the Z from Z and D.
But this was the only one that gave me any kind of wood, so that's why I went with it.
Was it that exciting?
Number 72 pencils.
Oh.
They'll
wow.
be so hard that you'll never be able to write with them. Number 72 pencils. Leave your pens in the Sahara Desert. You won't need them here.
Why the desert? Why don't you just leave them in the junk drawer?
So I didn't get many pens, but I did get a lot of pencils in desert situations, and this was just one of the more creative ones in my opinion.
Yeah, it's
Because
cool.
I like that it's got the stratified rock look going down the pencils.
Yeah.
But they're very clearly a very close-up of pencils. And
Yeah.
I just think it's great. Snacks are the eyelid of every good game of the Everglades and Dragon.
Oh my god. I don't want that snack. Don't serve that to me. I don't want it.
But most of the ones I got were like dragons and happy little places. It looked like it was a jungle or a swamp.
Mm-hmm.
But then I got this.
I got a
It's like
bowl
a
of
head and
a bowl of
chickpeas.
bloody chickpeas with a weird demon head in it.
Hungry players are welcome, but a ghostly DM can be an absolute itty bitty kitty.
Oh, it's an itty bitty kitty. It's almost ghostly.
It is a ghostly DM. A ghostly DM can be an absolute
you're right.
itty bitty kitty.
I missed the word ghostly, and I gave that to you.
Yes, but I got all kinds of great ones for this one, and I really thought this was so absolutely cute with the big giant eyes.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of like a combination of animation and real world, because two of these cats look real.
Yeah, and the table looks real, but the characters, the cat and the two human characters look animated.
Don't forget to drink plenty of soy sauce.
Ew. I don't want to drink soy sauce. Gross. That looks gross. It looks like blue cheese cubes in like whiskey or something. But ugh. Don't you have a soy sauce story? I think I remember you having a soy sauce story.
Years ago when I was a teenager and I was in Bible quizzing, we would sometimes be lucky enough to go to a town that had a yummy chow. One time I had ordered water and then I went off to the bathroom. When I came back, I had tea. And they're like, "Oh, the waitress came by and gave you tea." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I get some Splenda or sugar, or well, probably back then equal because we didn't have Splenda. And I stirred it, and they're all just watching me, and I'm like, "Whatever." And finally, I drink it, and it didn't taste that bad. And then they all just burst out laughing because what they had done is sprinkled soy sauce into my water glass, and it was a very, very tea-like color, and I guess with sweetener, it didn't taste particularly horrible.
As soon as you said you came out of the bathroom and you had tea, I immediately wanted to barf.
Mats and figurines can be useful for visualizing action-packed batteries.
That's cool,
this
though.
is probably the closest.
That's cool. I mean,
maybe
it's
the
not
battery
really
exploded.
It's less D&D and it's more comic books with little tiny Batman there. But
Yeah.
it almost looks like the girl in front, is like pulling baby Batman and like beating the bad guy, and like they're rushing through, and like baby Batman's just flying behind her.
This looks sort of like Babe the Blue Ox. That was made out of metal and it got exploded.
That actually is a lot more of an interesting headcanon, that this was a metal statue of Babe the Blue Ox. I like that.
With these things and a fuzzy attitude, you're ready for the time of your pimple. She is pretty freaky though. Those eyes.
Yeah, she's weird looking. And
it looks like she's hiding in her pimple.
Oh, maybe, yeah, she's hiding it. She doesn't want the world to see it, so she's... Those things in her hair are weird. It's almost like Christmas ornaments.
Yeah, and her hair sort of looks like a troll doll.
Totally does.
Well, now it's time for some dishonorable mentions.
So many kitties. Oh, God, I guess the top right is the pimples. Although it's eyeballs, not pimples.
I know, but it's fuzzy attitude and eyeball pimples. Like, made this ball.
God, it's horrifying.
Oh, when you first start playing Z&D, You'll need these simple things to help you hit the beehive running.
Okay, cute.
Just leave your pins in the Sahara Desert. You won't need them here.
But bring your camels. Do bring your camels.
Well, apparently this camel is using your pin in the Sahara Desert that you left behind.
Well, he's got a nice little posh place in the Sahara Desert. Nice little cozy place to lay down. Little potted cactus in the background. I should go to the Sahara Desert.
Native to Africa.
No,
hey,
it's all right.
Whatever. He's killing it. Snacks are the island of every good game of the Everglades and Dragon.
Oh, gross! I don't want that snack either. I'll eat the stuff off the table.
It's the island of every good game, though.
I'll eat the stuff off the table, though, just not out of the bowl.
Raspberries and it looks like fried cheese or baked cheese. Don't forget to drink plenty of soy sauce. Okay, Mom. With these things and a fuzzy attitude, you're ready for the time of your pimple.
Oh, wow. Well, that's certainly a fuzzy attitude.
Maybe it's a mask because she has a pimple.
I
She's like,
hope it's a mask.
I am not showing up to D&D with this pimple. So
I'll just wear this mask. I'll just wear this mask, and no one will know I have a pimple. And they'll be like, "Why are you wearing a mask?" No reason. It's fashionable.
I'm a troll. And that's it.
Yay! That was fantastic. That may have been my favorite D&D opener that you've done so far.
So that's it for my first Madlib of the second half of the season. And Lady Shablagoo. I'm sure she'll love the fact that you mispronounced her name. She won't care. She'll think it's funny. Lady Shablagoo is finally going to finish her story.
Yay! I've been waiting for this conclusion forever. Well, a month.
I almost spewed.
And now, Southern Fried Scary Tales with Lady Shablagoo.
Well, hello everyone. I'm finally back. We finally get to hear this story I've been teasing all season long. Well, it takes place in Oklahoma and Arkansas, and while some people may not consider Oklahoma a southern state, it is farther south than many other southern states, and the people involved in the story originally came from Mississippi and Alabama. So, let's get started. This takes place in 1855, when a lot of Choctaw in the Oklahoma Territory started noticing that crops were disappearing. They attributed the problems to bandits. And things like this happened, but it wasn't that bad, so they didn't worry much about it until animals started disappearing. People did then start taking notice, and finally, women and children seemed to be disappearing as well. And this is when things started to come to a head. Joshua LaFleur was half French and half native, and he decided to mount up party for the Light Horsemen to hunt down these bandits and try to get their women and children back, and perhaps their livestock. He had about 30 men in his Light Horseman group, including Hamas, Tubby, and his 6 sons. Now this family was very special because all of the family members were at or above 7 feet tall, and they were rather formidable. This crew of men were armed with rifles and pistols and all kinds of other weaponry, including sabers, and they decided to go on a hunt. This all took place near the McCurtain County Wilderness area. This group of horsemen, about 30 men strong, left the tribal capital of Tuscaloosa. After about 8 hours of riding and getting closer to where many of the reports of the bandits were the heaviest, they stopped and ate near the Clover River. Then they continued on for a few more hours, at which point LaFleur asked them to stop. He used a telescope because he had seen something moving ahead. He thought he saw something and decided to call the attack, and they rode forward until a horrible smell stopped many of them in their tracks. The horses balked, some bucked, some even threw their riders. But many of these horses were war horses and much worse than this. They were very near the edge of a large forest. Many raced ahead to to try to figure out what was going on up there, and they finally found the source of the stench. In a large clearing, a huge mound that was filled with and surrounded by corpses, food, and other various forms of offal. But no people were around. Then they saw 3 hairy, huge beasts staring down at them contemptuously. Now these warriors weren't unfamiliar with legend of a large, hairy man that stalked the forest. Usually these forest dwellers were not confrontational and didn't bother men. However, LaFleur charged these beasts. In a rage, he was howling, waving his sword above his head, trying to create a battle cry. He raced forward until one of the beasts stepped forward, and it slapped his horse, knocking it to the ground, dead. LaFleur rolled and leapt to his feet, shooting his pistol at the creature. Several bullets hit the creature, but it barely seemed to notice. It lunged at LaFleur and grabbed his head, ripping his head completely off. All of this happened so quickly that his warriors hadn't even begun to join the fight. They finally shook off their shock and opened fire with all of their rifles at once. 2 of the giant creatures were incapacitated quickly, but a third tried to limp away from the fray. That's when one of the huge Tooby brothers raced after the creature and beheaded it. They braced for another attack, but it didn't occur. Once the soldiers realized there wasn't going to be another attack, they began to search the mound and separate the corpses. They discovered 19 children among those corpses. They carefully buried everyone they could find, and they burned the 3 creatures. The evidence of this war was lost to history, and it may or may not be true. But that is the story of the Bigfoot Choctaw War of 1855. Bye, y'all.
Well, as they say, that was certainly worth the wait. Thank you for the story, Lady Shablagoo, but it is now my turn to do my Madlib. And guess what? My Madlib tonight is called the Bainiac's Madlib. And it's not what you think it's about. But I loved this cover photo, mostly because of the color, because that shade of purple is one of my favorite shades of purple in the whole world, the one around him, like haloing his face. And combine that with blue, and I'm just like, oh, I love it. So anyway.
It's very groovy.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's like a black light.
Yeah, I would love if I had a blacklight poster like this and put it in my room. That would be cool. All right. The Bainiac's Madlib. Albert Einstein was a fantastic, shy, and quiet boy.
Oh. Wow.
Mustache and all.
That is so cute. Gray, fluffy hair.
And a mustache.
I'm about this. I love it.
He loved to just sit and somersault.
Wow. The logistics of that.
It reminds me of, like, did you ever do this when you were a kid? You'd sit on your butt and you try to jump.
Yeah, you kind of push yourself.
You kind of push
your
yourself
hands
and you
your
just sort of like hop in the air on your butt. That's what I picture him doing right here.
I mean, I've done it more often on a trampoline.
Well, yeah, I've absolutely done it on a trampoline. And quite honestly, I think I've probably done it more often as an adult than I did as a child. Albert thought there was real power in gerbils. Such power.
Wow.
Limitless
I had no
power.
idea. So, and this gerbil is a little bit sinister.
It's his arch nemesis. He even said that the imagination is more important than sundresses.
Therefore, he chose to wear something from Little House on the Prairie instead.
Okay.
I sort of feel grateful that he didn't wear a sundress.
Me too. Electricity amazed Albert because it was sneaky, powerful, and dangerous.
Wow.
Isn't that cool? I love that
Sort
one.
of true.
Yeah.
I mean, the last two especially, but in a way, it is kind of sneaky. I mean, how many times have you touched something not thinking you're going to have any, and you're like, ah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Wow. That is amazing. It looks like a real picture. except for there's a few things that the electricity are doing that I don't think are possible.
Well, it's certainly not possible to hold it in your hands.
But even if he had like some kind of instrument and he's insulated, like some of the angles that it's taking don't seem like it could.
It probably wouldn't arc the direction that it's arcing, yeah. And in addition to that, he liked mysterious tarantulas.
What? He's got his little longhorns. Oh my god.
Hook 'em horns.
I forgot about that. Just wait till you edit the video.
School didn't always teach Albert the spider monkeys he wanted to know about. Like this one here.
I mean, it could be the... That is very cute. It feels more like somebody pretending to be Albert Einstein.
It totally does. The thing that really threw me about this one is out of all this, it's very grainy, like it's an old photo. Yeah. Like it actually put the grain in there, like it was in a blown up old photo. Anyway.
Albert Einstein impersonator Mel Brooks.
Oh my god, it kind of does look like Mel Brooks. So he began to squeak himself. I just picture like this really loud squeak, constant squeak.
That is a large mouth for a mouse. Like, oh, and that little hint of sharp teeth. You can't tell if it's sharp teeth or little whiskers, but...
Oh, that's the whiskers. You don't see any. There's no teeth visible.
Which is even more creepy.
Some kids dream about becoming a gymnast, but Albert knew he would grow up to be a thinker.
Oh. I'm trying to figure out how that's possible.
This is when he figured out the gymnastics wasn't for him. When his spine cracked when he tried to do an impossible move.
Yes. Yeah. Or his knee went the other direction.
And this is what inspired my prompt, Impossible Contortionists, which created all those horribly cursed images that I sent you earlier today.
True story. Those were frightening indeed.
And he was a haphazardly original thinker.
Okay. So he did everything like in a cloud so no one else could see what he was thinking?
He brainstormed. Nothing? Really? No, it was a joke.
Oh. I thought you were trying to point out that the AI interpreted it that way.
Well, no, but that's the way. Though it might have, but that's the way I interpret it when I looked at it. It's like, oh, it's like a brainstorm. He's like a storm of clouds all around him. His most famous equation is C equals MC squared, where C stands for cute.
Wait, really?
No, that was a joke. I was making a joke based on the picture. It's just C equals MC squared.
Yeah, that is funny. That's like a spray on makeup.
And making duck lips. Albert was one of the most pinkish scientists who ever lived.
Oh my gosh. What on earth? That is so amazing. Also feels like an impersonator.
Totally.
But I'm not sure if this is supposed to be Albert Einstein or Thing 2.
Could be either. After he died, his thumb was donated to science. Why? We don't know. Yeah, this one's really weird and creepy because it doesn't look like an AI messed up and put a finger in the wrong place. It looks like AI tried to show someone who had an additional finger. They were born with an additional finger. You know what I mean? It looks like a birth defect.
Or maybe that's his and they didn't want it to die, so they attached it to someone else.
Oh, I didn't think of that. That's really creepy.
I mean, either way, we're not in great territory.
Yeah.
Sorry to anybody who has fingers growing out of the palms of their...
If you do, leave us a comment. I'd love to hear about it. For years, it was kept in a fly amanita marked cider.
That's very literal.
It's incredibly literal.
And they gave us a fly amanita. I am very impressed.
Yeah, I knew exactly what it was. Like every image I got had a spotted orangey red mushroom. So it knew exactly what it was. Einstein's brain now wiggles in a jar in a privy in New Jersey. Yeah, I couldn't really get anything. I couldn't really get.
That's pretty dang good.
Yeah, I couldn't get like anything really, indicative of being in a restroom or being in New Jersey. I was hoping I would have something that was more indicative of, other than the fact that, well, I don't want to say anything bad about New Jersey. I've never been there. I've heard it's dirty, but I don't know if that's true or not. But
well, it's also the Garden State.
Yeah, well, I hear that's not exactly an accurate description, but.
Well, I mean, think about this. Maybe this is like the back of a toilet bowl, and it's just kind of sitting there, and then it's this old, dilapidated insane asylum.
So that is my Madlib. Are you ready for some honorable mentions?
Well, with all those words, hell yeah.
All right. Here is your first one. He loved to just sit and somersault.
I guess he's in the flop stage.
Yeah,
He flips it.
he just landed.
Now I mean, let's ignore whatever's going on with that one leg.
Yeah,
but this is like Einstein the musical, but the film version.
It's Albert! Exclamation point. Albert! Actually, no. If there was a musical based on the story of Albert Einstein's life. Relativity. Yes, that's exactly what it should be called. It should be called Relativity.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, let's get to work. We got a musical to write. All right.
Oh, the gerbils?
Yes, he thought there was real power in gerbils. I don't know why they look like Pokemon.
One of them looks like Pikachu, and there is real power in him.
The other one has a crazy long tongue.
Oh. Wow, though. It looks more like a chinchilla as well. But that is funny. It's like a Pikachu gerbil.
Oh, this is some kid's dream of becoming a gymnast, but Albert knew he would grow up to be a thinker.
With that butt?
He can have whatever he wants with that butt. So this is Albert Einstein as Carl Sagan.
Billions and billions. It's like, wow.
Well, that is it. That's the end of my Madlib for tonight.
I mean, aw.
So that's going to do it for tonight's episode of MidJourney Madlibs. Thank you guys for coming by and watching the video. Brent, thank you for hosting with me. It's always so much fun to do this with you.
Yes, and last night I went and saw Deadpool, so I was primed for laughing.
Nice. Well, we're going to get out of here. Make sure you click like and subscribe before you leave, and we'll see you guys the next time. Bye!
Bye!
Like and subscribe.
The algorithm demands it.